I love fire. Fire is super fun and there are a lot of really neat experiments you can do with it. However, fire is pretty dangerous and I'm a trained expert in using fire. I'm in a laboratory. I have safety equipment and safety officers on standby. So please don't try any of this at home. That being said, I've got something really cool to show you guys today, using something called a flammable liquid. And I know that sounds a little weird because you use liquids like water to put fire out, but some liquids you can actually light on fire. So in this dish here, I have a flammable liquid. And so I'm just going to light a match and light it on fire. And so this will just burn, because this liquid is super duper flammable. The fire will consume all of the fuel and then it'll keep going. It's sort of like having a candle in a little dish. But this isn't the cool part of the experiment. So now I'm going to take that same flammable liquid from before and I'm going to put it into this bottle. But not a lot. I don't want to fill the bottle. I just want to put enough in there that I can coat the entire inside. And so, like any good chemist, I'm now going to light it on fire. So I'm going to use this stick to give me a little bit more distance. Wow, so that was pretty cool. So what happened was I coated the inside of this bottle with flammable liquid. The cool thing about flammable liquids is they evaporate really quickly. So that means that the fumes from this liquid fill the bottle. And that's what I lit on fire, which made that really impressive fireball. But again, I want to tell you, I'm a chemist and I'm trained in using fire. Plus, I'm in a safe environment with a lot of safe protective equipment with safety officers on standby. So please be clever and don't try this at home. Wow, all this talk about fire is making me really thirsty. But I might go to the tap.
Now, because I was really slow before in getting my uniform and I missed the fire truck, I thought I'd give myself a proper time trial. Timer, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Okay, how did I do?
1 minute and 10 seconds.
1 minute and 10 seconds! Coming up on Get Clever, you're going to meet the people who can put this suit on a lot faster than I can.
My name's Michael Packham and I'm a leading firefighter with Fire Rescue New South Wales. The best part about my job is I love coming to work not knowing what's going to happen that day. You never know what you're going to get. We do a broad range of things as firefighters. Storms, floods, we go to building collapses, and we do actually go to kittens in a tree every now and then. If you were caught somewhere in a house and there was smoke in the house, the best thing to do is get down low and go, go, go. Get out of the house, make sure all your family are out, and when you're out, stay out. Fighting fires, it can get very, very hot. Bushfires, there's a lot of heat coming from the fire itself. But we also get really hot during house fires and factory fires because all the heat builds up inside of the house and it can get really, really hot. But we have some really good clothing and equipment that helps us to deal with that. Let me go and show you now. That's our rescue truck. It carries a lot of heavy rescue equipment which helps us to help people that might be in car accidents and have got themselves into a bit of trouble. Some of my favourite rescue tools include our spreaders and our cutters, and they basically can cut a car in half. The other truck, that's our pump rescue, so it has all of our firefighting gear on it. Here we have our first aid line, and this is used for a lot of our smaller fires. All we have to do is take it out, release it, and then it comes straight off and it can go out up to 60 metres. We have over here, these are our bigger hoses. These are 70 millimetre wide, so they give us a lot of water. And then we have our 38 millimetres, and these are normally used for our smaller house fires. So during winter, it's very important to keep all of our clothes and everything away from the heater. The saying we use is keep everything 1 metre from the heater. So we actually have 2 types of suits depending what fire we go to. My friend Todd here, he's wearing our bush firefighting coat, also known as our multi-purpose coat, because we use it for rescues as well. So he has the coat on, he has his gloves to protect his hands, the helmet to protect anything from his head and the visor, and also he has what's called a P2 dust mask. It helps him breathe and filters out smoke when we're in a bushfire. He also might be wearing goggles if the smoke's really thick, so that will help protect his eyes. If your clothes were to catch fire, the best thing to do is stop where you are, drop to the ground, cover your face and roll around, and that'll help to extinguish the flames that are on your clothes. I'm wearing our structural firefighting ensemble. This has our gloves, my jacket, my pants, my boots, my flash hood, and also my helmet. But one of the most important things that we'll need is inside of the truck. So here's the most important equipment we have. It's our breathing apparatus. It helps us breathe air while we're inside the fire and not smoke. So once we hop into the truck, I can hop straight in, put my arms in, get the face mask, hang it around my neck, put my helmet back on, and then I'm ready to go. I remember when I first started, the adrenaline rush was very full on. You probably do get a little bit scared at the start of your career as a firefighter, but you learn, as you learn and grow, you become better at your job and you don't get scared because you know what to prepare for. A very important thing to have at home with your whole family is a home fire safety plan. This is something where you'll write out, discuss between your family, so in case of a fire, you all know how to get out of the house and where to meet. I think what makes a good firefighter is mainly a really good team player, someone who wants to help the community and help each other, someone who has courage and integrity. I think they all really help to make a really good firefighter. The best part about my job is at the end of the day we get to help people, and that's very satisfying.
I'm at Hurstville Fire Station learning how to become a firefighter. And I must say, it's a lot harder than it looks. I mean, I never imagined it to be easy, but this suit is so heavy and hot.
Here is a very important part of putting out a fire hose. It's a little bit different to your garden hose at home. It's a lot bigger and a lot of water comes out. So you don't really want to stand in front of it and cool off on a hot summer's day. When firefighters carry these things, they make it look so easy, but I can do the same.
Let me give you a hand. Put that lever up.
Yeah.
Put that over your shoulder and off you go.
Water is obviously very important in putting out a fire.
Hi, I'm Sam and I'm here at Questacon, the National Science and Technology Centre. Now, just before we do this one, I don't think there's ever been more of a need for a safety warning. Please don't do any of this at home. I have been doing this for many years and I am actually a trained professional. And here with me, I've got Nathan. And Nathan is a trained... Sorry, what are you again, Nathan?
Test dummy.
A trained test dummy, absolutely perfect.
Kind of trained.
Kind of trained in training. So what we're going to do to you today, Nathan, is we're actually going to set you on fire. How does that sound?
Like I might be a little bit warmer. He's going to do what to me?
You might be a little bit warmer indeed. Now, we're going to need a couple of things to actually do this safely. So if you come down here with me, Nathan, we've actually got a special mixture that I prepared earlier. And one of the main ingredients in this mixture is actually water, and that's what's going to keep you safe today. So what I want you to do is get this liquid and just rub it over your arms, just like that. Perfect. Now while you do this, Nathan, I know you are a trained test dummy, but you will still need some eye protection for this, right? So I'm just going to put these on here.
Watch out for the eyes.
Watch out for the eyes when I put on the eye protection.
Yeah.
There we go, perfect.
You call that protection?
And I'm going to need some safety gear as well. So let me put on these gloves. And I will need some goggles too. Now I've actually got here some special flammable gas that we have at Questacon, and that's what I'm going to be using to set Nathan's hands on fire in just a moment.
What? He's really going to set my hands on fire? Mummy?
Alright, so Nathan, what I want you to do is grab a big handful of that special liquid, okay?
Yep.
That's it, absolutely perfect. And now, just stand up. All right, Nathan, I'm gonna put some of this special gas into your hands just here. Make some nice big bubbles. There we go, that should be just about enough. Here we go. I'm gonna light you on fire on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. So how are you feeling, Nathan?
I'm feeling warmer. And safe. Yes, I survived. Okay, get me out of here.
And safe, and that's the important bit. You see, that water is really, really good at taking away heat. So when we made that fire just then, the heat went into the water and not into your hands. And that property of water is actually why we use water to put out fires. And just remember, everyone, please don't try this at home.
We interrupt your regular programming for a breaking weather report. Josh Richards has travelled to the sunny planet of Mercury. Josh, how's the weather out there? Thanks, Josh, and greetings, Earth. I'm reporting to you from Mercury. Now, Mercury is obviously the closest planet to the sun. Right now, we're on the sunny side, the daytime side, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really feeling it. Now, lucky for my special Mercury-safe spacesuit, otherwise I literally would have melted on arrival. Surface temperatures on Mercury are about 430 degrees Celsius. It's twice as hot as an oven. You could literally bake a cake on the sidewalk. So I brought some of my favourite foods to try out here on the surface. Now, I have some delicious ice cream here, and we're going to try and eat it before it melts. Really could do with something a bit cooler right now. Maybe some popcorn. All right, these were kernels, but here on the surface of Mercury, they've exploded into popcorn. This is going to be a real pain to clean up. It's fine though, because there's plenty of other cooler things to do on Mercury. Like the days are really, really long. One day and night on Mercury is 176 Earth days. Trying to sleep in the blinding brightness is definitely a challenge though, so make sure you've got one of these. Because we're so much closer to the sun, it's nearly impossible to sleep. When it is nighttime though, we'll have days and days and freezing days to enjoy it. It sure is pretty though, with sodium atoms reacting with the atmosphere, creating our own personal fireworks display. Oh, duck, it's just a fireball. One of the other attractive features of being on Mercury is you never know when you're going to be hit by an angry fireball. It certainly keeps you on your toes. Mercury's fast too, travelling at 50 kilometres per second through space. Lucky there's no speed limit. On to the weather, and it's Tuesday today, which will last another 723 hours. Temperatures will be reaching really, really ridiculously hot. And there's a chance of a firestorm later today. I think my shoes are melting. Back to you in the studio. Do we have any spare shoes? Thanks, Josh. It's not really that hot. It's just a bit of an overreaction. Try not to let your shoes melt. Occupational Health and Safety says that we have to have enclosed footwear at all times. We'll be hearing from Josh a little bit later. But for now, good day and good luck.
I'm at a fire station today learning the ins and outs on what it takes to be a firefighter. I've suited up, I've learnt how to use a hose, and now it's time to get fit. Being a firefighter is a really physical job, so it's really important to stay fit. So I'm limber, I'm focused, I'm in the zone. Let's work out. Oh my gosh. Good. 500. Oh, that was exhausting. Definitely going to be sore tomorrow.
My name is Carmen and I'm a PhD student here at the University of Queensland. What I'm doing here at the university is to study fires in houses, and I'm trying to compare conventional houses with concrete and steel versus houses where you have timber, and I'm trying to measure the fire dynamic of these two different types of houses and how it changes and how it is more dangerous and severe when we have timber houses.
My name is Juan. I'm a PhD student as well here at the University of Queensland. An experiment that we really found it was really interesting to see was we burn different parts of cars in order to basically understand how cars burn, for example, in a fire that's happening in a tunnel, and how fast it's gonna burn, and to see basically how much time do we have to get everyone out safely.
A few months ago, we were checking the firefighters' suits, and we were basically measuring how we could improve their suits because they sweat a lot while they are in action and their sweat starts to boil. So we were doing several experiments to understand how we can make the suits more breathable. So the outcomes were very interesting. Fires can get really, really hot. Sometimes here in the laboratory, we manage to go up to 1,500 degrees, which is very high and very dangerous. That's why we have a lot of safety measures. And fire is something that kids should not do at their homes. There are several things that affect fire. Mainly it is the amount of fuel and the amount of oxygen. What I like the most about being a PhD student, a young researcher, is that I never repeat my job. I have to invent my own experiments, so it's very challenging and very motivating to discover things for me.
And we get to satisfy our curiosity. And of course, mistakes are a thing of every day. We all make mistakes, and some days more than other ones, so but it's part of it.